So here we are in an upper farm. We're up here with the truck, trailer, and skid steer, and we had to come up here to clean up the old granary that fell down during the storm earlier this week. We brought the skid steer up, scooped up the building sides because really the four walls are still intact. They just kind of fell in on each other. So all we really had to do was come in with the skid steer pallet tines, and we stabbed them, picked them up, and loaded them flat on the trailer. And then we hauled them down into a ravine that had been used to throw in wood and other trash as a burn pile by someone else. So we're hauling all the wood from it down there, and there's a lot of nails and stuff in it too. So by dumping it in the ditch, we don't have to worry about running over the nails, because we know that we'll never farm it down in the ditch. And once we go through and burn it, we can go through and cover it up if we want to, or if it comes to that. So we got the grainery all cleaned up now, and we have the cistern over here that's in the building next to it. This farm used to be an entirely independent farm of itself. There used to be an old dairy barn down there that my grandpa knocked down maybe 2 years ago. So what we still have left is this old cistern. We'll go over here and we'll have a look at it. This is actually one of the highest points in Grant County. This entire hillside is over here. There's a survey marker on the other side of the house over there that says do not mess with. So in here we have this old room. It's just a small old building. My grandpa told me that back before he bought it, the guy who used to farm this farm here, he had a hired man that actually used to live on the farm here, and he had a bunk, I guess, and he lived in here. So I wouldn't really want to live in here, but it might be Class A back in the day. But in the corner here, we have this little wooden door. Let me turn on my light. Alright. So if I lift up this door here, we look inside. You gotta be careful because I don't want to really dump stuff down in there. See the water down in there? Looks real good, right? Yeah, not so much. But this is called a cistern, and they were used to be all around back in the day. All our other farms have had one, but none of them are in use today except for this one. What happens is that there's a well outside this door over here. Maybe you'll see it. It's back in that mess. It's like right in there. There's a well over there. What it does is it sucks the water out of the ground, dumps it over into the cistern. Then from the cistern, it goes over to the cattle water right outside this window here, and it goes over to the house. Now, the reason they don't do it like this anymore is because government regulations say that wells have to be pressurized systems now, pressurized closed systems, and therefore they don't really put cisterns in it anymore. I still have one in out at my place. The one down in Travis's place was filled in way back when I was a kid, and I believe there might still be an intact one out at my place. I think I can't really remember, but that is what cisterns were for. Basically, just a holding bin for the water when the water came out of the well. And they used to use cisterns, I guess, back when they still used windmills. The windmills would turn a crank, and the crank would put pressure down the well, and the well would dump into a cistern. And then once the cistern got to a certain level, there'd be a shutoff valve that would keep the water from overflowing. So, fun little fact about that. Now that we got all this building, the old granary cleaned up, this is where they kept all their grain for the cattle in the dairy barn over behind this building over there. But it had been falling in for a few years, and we never used it for anything. I think it was just holding a couple stakes and whatnot. At one point there had been dynamite blasting caps stored in there, but they've been long since disposed of. So, yeah, that should be about it. I think from here, I'm going to smooth this off a little bit more, And we actually cleaned this up. This looks a lot better than what it was even with that building in there. So we're going to probably flatten this out a little bit more and call her a day. So thanks for watching, guys. Be sure to check out my other videos, and I'll see you next time.